Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, folks. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Marketing Your Practice podcast, the podcast where I have the pleasure of simplifying the marketing and the mindset necessary so you, the chiropractor, can increase your income, your impact, and your enjoyment in practice too. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you 9 bad habits that destroy your social media success, that get in the way of you actually attracting patients into your practice. These bad habits that I'm going to share will go across all platforms, so whether it be YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, it doesn't really matter. These are the things that when I'm talking to chiropractors and they're struggling to get results, they're telling me that they have tried social media and it hasn't worked for them. Invariably, it's one of these habits, but more often than not, it's lots of them that get in the way of them attracting patients in as well. So this is going to be super tactical. Let's jump into it. Bad habit number 1 is obsessing about the numbers, how many followers that you have. How many followers that you have is not an indication of whether you'll be successful on social media or not. I've talked about this a little bit in the past when I shared with you about the very first video that we had go viral. It had well over 1 million views. We had an influx of thousands of viewers into our Instagram following, and the net results was no new patients at all, because most of the people that were watching the video were not even close to where our practice is. What you want to be is 5 mile famous. I'm seeing people getting wonderful results on Instagram, Facebook with 1,000 followers. That's often what the number is. And I think on our Instagram account, we might have 4,000 or 5,000. And we see wonderful results from it. It is not about the numbers. What it really is about us having the right people who are on our account and the right people that are watching our videos. So don't obsess about the numbers. If you're going to be obsessing about somebody or something, obsess about adding value, okay? Our desire to reach loads of people, what it does, it gets in the way of us focusing on the one very specific person. Forget about the numbers, start focusing on value instead. The second mistake that I see is I see chiropractors not replying and not engaging with their audience. This is a huge mistake, given that right now the single focus across all platforms is engagement with the audience. That doesn't matter what the platform is there. They want to see a conversation happening. They know that when people are engaging in a conversation on social media, they're more likely to spend more time on that. It's better for their mental and emotional health. So replying to comments, if somebody watches a video or a post, makes a comment there, you must reply. And reply as soon as possible, okay? So hopefully when you put a post up, most of the engagement is going to be within the first few hours. Be checking in. And when you're replying also, see if you can reply in a way that starts a conversation. So if somebody happens to say, man, I really love this video, instead of replying with just thank you or prayer hands or something like that, you can say, thanks, what was the favorite part of it? See if you can actually get into a dialogue going back and forth. Now, when the social media platforms sees that there's a reply, sees that there's a dialogue that's actually happening, and sees that there's engagement, what they're much more likely to do is to push this post out to the rest of your audience, okay? The second bad habit is not replying. The third bad habit that I see is I see chiropractors not using the entire platform. So let's use Instagram as an example here. There are many different things that we can do on Instagram. We can post an Instagram story. Now that Instagram story, remember, is going to disappear within 24 hours. It's a great way for us to show behind the scenes. There's a sense of urgency and scarcity that goes along with it. It's a really fun way for you to interact with your audience, polls and giveaways and asking questions. So the Instagram stories, there's an Instagram post feed where we could put carousels, videos inside of there. We could also put in there just image posts. And then we have reels. And then finally, we've got live video. So they're really the major options that we have inside of Instagram. And Instagram, in this case, wants us using all of them, wants us doing all of the things. Now on Facebook, there's a little less than that too. We can post videos, we can post images, and we can go live. Now they have their version of stories also. But in essence, what the platforms want, and they have stated they want us using the entire platform. So have a play. You know, share some images from time to time, videos, do a reel, okay, go live. From time to time, you might want to put together a story. Make sure you're using all of the platform, because there are different people in your community that tend to have a focus on parts of it. You know, some people, when they're using Instagram, when I'm talking with them now, they spend all the time just looking at Instagram stories and they don't look at the feed. Other people only watch videos. Others really love, reels and things like that too. So use the entire platform. On to bad habit number 4. When we're creating content that we want to create rather than what our ideal patient or our community wants to see. Now, this is a big mistake that I see in marketing in general, because when we start to say, look, you know what, I want to start marketing my practice, what we think we need to do is we need to let and educate people about chiropractic. We have a mission that we're on, and we want to tell the world all about it. However, when people are on social media, when people are consuming your content, they're not really interested in chiropractic. Now, they're very, very interested in the benefits that chiropractic that can give them, but they're not necessarily interested in chiropractic. So let me give you an example. In your community right now, if you were to kind of do a 5-kilometre radius, let's just say in a bigger city, there might be 100,000 people or less than 2. There's a small percentage that are looking for a chiropractor, okay? For some reason, they've got something going on in their life that means I want to find a chiropractor. But if we just take, for instance, how many pregnant mums there are in that same environment, all of those people there can benefit from a chiropractor, but they don't know that chiropractic can help with, a natural drug-free delivery. They don't know that it can help with optimal fetal positioning. They don't know the width and breadth of things that chiropractic can help for. So if you're just talking about chiropractic, they will miss that. But if you put content up there about how to ease tension, right things that women should do when they're pregnant, exercises they shouldn't do, ways that you can optimize a drug-free natural delivery, this is the type of content that people in your community want to see. And so instead of focusing on creating content that you want to share, create content that your audience wants to see. That's the 4th big mistake that I see. Now, on to bad habit number 5. There are 2 sorts of content that you should be creating if you want to be successful on social media. Now, these 2 sorts of content are connection content and transformation content. Now, let me give you just a brief overview of those. Connection content is all about allowing your audience, your community, to get to know you. Now, it's interesting. Robert Cialdini, in his book Influence, says that we're much more likely to say yes to a person's request if we like them. Okay, straightforward, nothing rocket science there. Connection content is all about showing behind the scenes. It's letting people know who you are. An example of connection content is just something as simple as sharing, what did you do on the weekend? 3 things about me that you might not know, my favorite hobbies. Connection content might be 2 truths and a lie. Now, these things are really fun to share. They're behind the scenes type of content. And they're the exact reason that social media exists. It's a quote. It's silly little things. But here's the challenge. If we're only sharing connection content, people will get to like you, but they don't get to know that you're a chiropractor. They don't get to know what you can help. You don't build expertise and you don't build authority through connection content. You build authority and connection and expertise through transformation content. Now, transformation content is content that helps to get your audience one step closer to a health outcome they're looking for. So it might be you sharing 3 tips on how you can decrease headaches naturally. It's 5 things that pregnant mums should do to decrease their lower back pain. It's that type of content that helps your audience get a health result moving forwards. So on to now. So tip number 5 is this, or bad habit number 5, is that we share too much connection content and not enough transformation content. So people get to like you, but you don't build that authority. And that builds straight into bad habit number 6, which is the opposite of that, is that we share too much transformation content and not enough connection content. People don't get to know you. Again, we like to do business with people that we like. And so sharing those behind the scenes. And so we need to balance that transformation and connection content. Now, how does that balance look? It looks like this. It's probably 60-40. 60% of it is connection content, 40% of it is transformation content again. So let me summarize that again. Bad habit number 5 is that we share too much social stuff, not enough helpful stuff. And bad habit number 6 is we share too much helpful stuff and not enough social stuff. Let's get on to bad habit number 7. Bad habit number 7 is that we're not sharing enough video. Now, can you be successful on social media without video? The shorter answer is absolutely yes. It just takes you longer. Okay, so, can you get around in life without a car? Absolutely, but there are challenges that go along with that. Video will help you be known, liked, and trusted faster than anything else. The growth of video across all platforms. I mean, obviously TikTok is a video platform. YouTube is a video platform, but on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and on Facebook, they are becoming almost entirely video-only platforms. The growth of it continues to accelerate each and every year. Now, here's the interesting thing. When we survey people about what they want from brands, what they want from businesses like your and my chiropractic businesses, they want to see video. That's actually what they're wanting. Now, the interesting thing is, what sort of video do they want to see? Is they want to see how-to videos. They want to see that transformational videos that I talked about beforehand. Now, when people are asked what factors go into helping them make a buying decision, they say video again. So video ticks all the boxes that we want to see if we want to end up taking people to build relationships from social media that end up in our practice making an appointment. So if you're not using video, you're making things really, really difficult for yourself. So that's bad habit number 7. Okay, bad habit number 8 is not understanding the platform. And it kind of goes along with what I was saying right back at number 3, which is not using the entire platform. Now, I put a post out recently where I was talking about Instagram Reels. And I'm saying on Instagram Reels, you don't have to be singing and dancing. You don't have to be miming or doing any of those things. Videos like this that I'm doing now, if you happen to be watching the video version of it, small videos less than 90 seconds is all that's required. However, that's with an Instagram Reel. When we get onto TikTok, that platform is really built around more of those types of videos. Understanding the platform, understanding what they're looking for, understanding why the audience is there is what will give you results. Now, obviously, don't start using YouTube if you're not in for video. And again, the video that's on YouTube is longer video. Short videos is what works on Facebook. Short videos is what works on Instagram and TikTok. But YouTube is going to be anywhere between 10 minutes and upwards. Now, yes, they have YouTube Shorts. Again, it's there to compete with some of the shorter videos, but we need to understand the platform, and that's part of back to bad habit number 3, understanding all of the options that are there and knowing how to use it. It's being aware of what the latest trends might be. It's being aware of what's working right now, and that changes almost on a month-to-month basis. So pick a platform. This is one of the reasons why I tell people, don't try and be everywhere. It's too difficult, okay? Find a platform, work with that one. So I have my content going pretty much to Instagram. Now, I share it across with Facebook there too, and I don't get nearly the engagement on Facebook that I do on Instagram because it's just kind of cut and paste across there. Everything is built for the Instagram platform. If I had to think about Facebook and then TikTok and all those things all together, there's not enough hours in the day for me, okay? So mistake or bad habit number 9, 8, these numbers here. Bad habit number 8 is not understanding the platform. And then finally, bad habit number 9 that I see, the final one I want to talk about in this episode here, is just flat out not being consistent. Success on social media is all about playing the long game. Now, consistency means showing up week after week after week. Now, how often do I need to show up? I think at a bare minimum, it's probably 3 times a week. It's 3 posts a week. Maybe it's 1 helpful post and 2 connection posts in there. Maybe it's a quote, a behind the scenes, and then a helpful tip that you share. But it's consistency that'll help to build trust. I want to know, who are you? Are you in this for good? Are you here for real? If you're coming and disappearing and back and forward there too, it doesn't build trust. That's not what I want in my health practitioner. If they can't be consistent with how they're showing up inside the social media platforms, I wonder what type of care that they're likely to give me. So consistency is the key. So how often you post, really the answer to that is how often can you consistently post? If you can only show up once a week, but you can commit to doing that for the next 12 months, that's much better than you showing up every day for the next month and then having a month off. So the question to ask yourself is, what can you commit to? Now, I think that this is important enough that you should be carving out some time. And I see with the people that I coach that in as little as 30 to 60 minutes a week, you can absolutely be showing up 3 times a week, if not more. So it's not a lot of time that's required, particularly when this time investment means money in the bank, new patients booking into your practice as well. Let's briefly summarize those 9 bad habits that destroy, that get in the way of your social media success, that stop you from attracting patients from social media into your practice. That bad habit number 1 was focusing or obsessing on the numbers. Okay, we don't need big accounts. We want to focus on the individual. And the irony is when we focus on the individual, that's what grows our accounts anyway. Not replying or engaging with our audience was bad habit number 2. Bad habit number 3 was not using the entire platform. Get to know the platform, use all of the tools that are on there. Bad habit number 4 was creating content that you want to create rather than creating content that your audience wants to see. Bad habit number 5 was creating too much social or connection content and not enough transformation content. Bad habit number 6 was creating too much transformation content and not enough connection. It doesn't give people a chance to know and like you. Bad habit number 7 was not enough video. Video accelerates, speeds up this whole process. Bad habit number 8 was not understanding the intricacies of the platform. Choose one, get to know it, master that platform. And then finally, bad habit number 9 is not being consistent, okay? Run an audit. Where are you making mistakes and how can you improve from this? Until next time, folks, thanks for all that you do. Keep saving lives. Your community so desperately, desperately needs you. Look forward to seeing you back here again next week. Bye. If you've enjoyed listening to this podcast, you have to come and check out my Community Influencer Program. It's my monthly coaching program where we take all this material and I'll work with you to help you apply it, implement it, and systemize it. The Community Influencer Group Coaching Program is designed to help you increase your practice income, impact, and enjoyment. Join me over at anguspyke.com/join. That's anguspyke.com/join. I'd love to see you there.